Hey, quick note about the difference between curriculum and materials. So, what we should be thinking about are standards, which are a list of things that students should be able to do, and that's all listed in our curriculum. And if you go to Kenai Peninsula Borough School District and you go to departments right here, and you click on departments, and then you go to curriculum right here, and you click on curriculum, it will bring up this page. You'll see a nice little picture of Melissa Litton sitting there, and it will give us a list of the curriculum that our school district follows. This isn't textbooks. This isn't Fontes and Pinnell. This isn't Saxon Math or Everyday Math or whatever it is we're using for math, or whatever textbook a school has adopted or that the district has provided for us. This is the curriculum. So I often am using, as a social studies teacher, I am always pulling up the 6 through 12 social studies standards, which are here. So this is the curriculum for history, for instance. And it tells me, it's a really great document that everybody came up with. It has all the state standards, which are addressed. And then it gives me the units that I should think about splitting up the teaching with. And of course, because it's history, the content is a lot more specific. Like ELA has a tendency to be a little bit more free form because we're focusing more on skills than we are on content. But history is very specific as far as what ideas need to be covered. And it gives me resources. So these are the materials which I could choose to use and that the district is suggesting would be good ones to meet the standards as outlined in this curriculum. So the materials are the tools that we use. Because I'm a big standards nerd, I will cross-reference what the district has provided us, and I go to the state standards. And now this is a legal document that has been signed into law. So this is the law. This is what we're required to teach according to the state of Alaska. All districts are. And I look at these ones the reason why I like to go to the state standards is because it gives me the bigger overarching concept, the skills that students need to have according to the state of Alaska, according to the law. And I make sure that whatever assignments I'm giving students, I am checking these things off the list. So I've covered this, I've covered that, over and over again, so that I know that when the kids get out of my classroom, they are meeting the standards. This is a standard. This is a standard. Very specific, very skills-based. Now, because like I said, I'm a standards nerd, I also cross-reference with the National Council for Social Studies standards. And this is the overarching federal organization which has advised the federal government and advised state governments as to what students should be able to do by the time they graduate from high school. And I like to look at these too and make sure that I'm meeting these things because I want my students to be competitive on a national and even international level and meet these type of standards. Materials that I like to use are here, for instance. So the Neolithic, understanding the agricultural revolution that happened during the Neolithic Revolution is something that was listed in the district standards. So in Origins of Civilization, it says that students need to understand the Neolithic Revolution. That's the standard. That's the content that needs to be met. And the materials that I use, bless me, are thank you. Articles from Purdue University, from The Guardian, from Smithsonian, Lumen Learning, Khan Academy, National Geographic, Wikipedia, History.com, some YouTube resources because kids likes to watch video, 23andMe, BBC, Hip Hughes History is hilarious, CU in History, English Heritage, The Birth of Farming, Crash Course, of course. A lot of these materials, especially like Hip Hughes and Crash Course, are very deliberately based around not common core, but often used standards that are most of the states in our country use. But this is the material that I use. It's not a textbook. It's not the state law, but these are the materials that I use to teach the standards. So standards are things that kids need to know. The curriculum is a collection of standards that our district has created based off of the state standards, which are the law. Materials do not equal curriculum. That's the gist of this video. Materials are not curriculum. Standards are the curriculum.